Welcome in, everybody. This is the Graybeard, and this is going to be your Thursday night chill flight. I'm waiting for a Rumble check to direct deposit. Hey there, where we go. Welcome in on Rumble Chat. And once it does, I'm going to get some things straightened out with my system because I'm tired of not being able to change my background. That will be happening. I'll get it back to the wonderful, peaceful backgrounds that people seem to really appreciate. So, back to it. Oops, let me go ahead and get rid of the banner. That's not really part of it. See, have I got, it's still loading. Okay. So the game is still loading. I had an update I wasn't aware of and had to get the update done, which is why I'm not starting like my usual 5 to 10 minutes early. So I'm just going to sit up here and just hello my honey, hello my baby, hello my ragtime gal. I'm going to go ahead and distract you until the game actually fully loads. So I just heard that James Comey has been indicted. Literally half an hour ago, the story broke. James Woods, who was saying nothing's going to happen because, again, nothing has ever happened since the entire Trump era. You know, Trump the outsider. No, these people, they're going to walk away scot-free. You know, like always. Not this time. And understand, when you indict somebody, the people that are brought the case have said, yes, there's enough evidence to secure a conviction. And I'm getting the impression, let me see if this is loaded yet. Yep, okay. I am getting the impression that James Comey is in significant trouble. But it's well-deserved trouble. Okay, why am I zipping? Okay, I guess that was just the... Okay, the first thing I'm noticing is the lights. I'm going to go ahead and kill those. Hey, Lynn, welcome in. I'm going to go ahead and refill my water because I can before the flight even starts. Why I don't, I'm in the air and I suddenly go, hey, I'm out of water. This is Publix spring water. Hey, Cedar Creek Gal on Twitch chat, and Monopulant, hello. Welcome on in. I'm going to be flying the livery known as the Rising Sun, one of my favorite liveries from one of my favorite planes. I've been flying the Hawker Sea Fury a lot lately, and also the Hawker Hurricane. Those are absolutely amazing freeware planes you can pick up from flightsim.to if you happen to have this game, which I highly recommend. You should be able to get it much cheaper than it was back in 2022 when I first purchased it. Oh, no Black Hat Destroyer. I'm not going to fly. I had no intention, and I just found out that Comey was indicted. This is something I have been waiting for. It's a house of cards, and Trump is about to swat the living flip out of it. Remember that my brother was saying you can't pull one thread of this Jenga tower, of this house of cards. You don't dare, because everything these people did is completely interwoven and interconnected. So when you see an arrest, and they just announced an arrest, he's indicted, he's going to be arrested, he'll have to turn himself in, get processed, fingerprinted, everything they did to Trump. Boy, talking about sweet revenge. And then he's going to go to trial, unless he wants to just go ahead and plead guilty, which, with his arrogance, he won't want to do that. Welcome in, Mater. So, yes, but the arrogance of Comey as I've said before, he's a penultimate DC denizen. He's like one of the he's the epitome of the DC denizens. It's like, well, I'm sorry we had to do this to you, but you're threatening this thing of ours, and we can't have that. So I'm taking off out of Friesland, which I believe is in Finland. It might be Norway. Hold on a second. I'm always confused. Have you noticed? Let me see here. Netherlands, okay. Hey there, D-Blaze. Hello, Barbara. Good to see you. So they're saying the Netherlands. Friesland in the Netherlands. That's where I am at, and that is where I'm about to take off. Let's go ahead and get in the air. Yeah. So I want to advance the throttle just a little bit. Oh, shit. And look at that. It actually kind of tipped me up in the air a little bit. Yeah, a lot of this is going to happen in Florida, Black Hat. A lot of this is going to be happening. Okay, do I have a wheel control? No, okay, my wheel is not locked. It's just, it won't let me go that far to the left for some reason. Okay, I'm going to build up some airspeed here. And then off to the wild blue yonder. Flaps are coming in. Landing gear is up. We are underway, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to... Okay, well, there's a bit of... There is a bit of... oh, look at this. Lovely. When I talk about, you know, the people in this part of the world, many of them are... coastal in nature. Fishing is a big deal. Farming and fishing. Yep, Mater. Don't crash. Thank you, Black Hat. It's thank you, Inoculant. Yeah, it's sinking in now that what my brother has been saying, and I have been saying for the longest time, that if you pull one thread of this, you're going to have to do it all immediately, because it is literally all interconnected. And they just pulled a thread, which tells me it's go time. It's okay. Remember today during Thunderdome, I could say something big is coming. I said that, and it's not just going to be one front. One aspect like the DOJ, which is what just happened. It's going to be military, it's going to be DOJ, it's going to be cultural, with what we're seeing with Charlie Kirk and this fact that we're awakening to this threat living amongst us, that whatever's about to happen is about to happen on many fronts. Hey there, Green. Good to see you. Green, you are unreadable and incoherent. What else is new? So basically Trump just, and this is the day after Trump basically just collectively be-slapped. See, I'm trying to control my language because this is a chill flight. He just collectively be-slapped. If you know what B stands for, okay, he just be-slapped the United Nations, which has never been what we've been told it is. It's not as advertised. Okay, this is an interesting looking bridge. Oh, I gotta watch out. They got the cables. I don't think I can fly through those. I think they are solid, and I would hit them. Are you coming in broken and stupid? Well, the stupid is constant. Broken, that's up to you. Blabber slapped. Yeah, and literally on the heels of that, James Comey is indicted. That means it's go time. A lot of things are going to happen with a high degree of rapidity now. It's not even, and this week, it may be a different country by the time we get to next Friday. I think also with some of these latest murders, acts of violence, that they've decided to go ahead and it's time to go. Hey there, Andy. Good to see you. And it's like I said, they don't pull the thread, even one thread. It's like, for the love of God, please arrest somebody. Just arrest anybody. You don't understand. It's all interconnected. You can't do just one arrest. Ralph Cramden, yeah. I still remember that cartoon I saw on X about, 2 months ago. It's two astronauts on the moon, and there's obviously a woman dressed like she's from the 50s. Her eyes are X's because it's not graphic. She's partially skeletonized, and she's lying there on the surface of the moon, and they go, "It's Alice Cramden! To the moon, Alice!" He'd shake his fist at her. Hey there, Dorothy. Yeah, and notice if you've been paying attention, have you been paying attention? You've been paying attention for about the last 3 months. Doing with what Pam Bondi's been doing, with what Pete Hegseth has been doing, they've been slowly removing the impediments to go time. Remember that there was a guy there in the DOJ who just got fired. And they replaced him with that hot-looking blonde in the sunglasses. I can't remember her name right now, so maybe somebody can remind me. Hennepin is coming up the head. I don't remember. But the guy that was in front of her was who she's replacing was what Brian calls a placeholder. He's like, "Don't worry, boss. We've got everything under control." Oops, he's gone, and now Comey's being indicted. And for all we know, he has made a deal, and it's going to play out. Okay, I've always wondered, and for the longest time, me and Brian have wondered back and forth, is Comey a white hat? Brian thinks Rod Rosenstein is a white hat, and he's got compelling arguments. Hey there, Brian. Welcome in, Murphmania. And I don't know, but the way you're going to be able to tell is what their sentencing is. Is Rod Rosen? The way you can tell is either the people that we're suspecting were playing a role don't get arrested. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Lindsay Halligan. Okay, she replaced somebody who is apparently like a pressure valve or a canary in the coal mine. That guy was there to impede everything, and then suddenly they fire him. Oh, hey there, Black Hat, over on Twitch chat. Yeah, I'm doing streams again. Chill Flights. I may start doing some other gaming if my situation stabilizes. Health, among other things. And I may start doing... I'm interested in doing Ghosts of Tsushima. I want to play that. I've only played about 10 minutes of it. I have the game. I have Detroit Become Human. I haven't played it. I've got games that I'm just not playing. Brian wants me to do the American Trucker Simulator. It's available. It's available. It's available. This is lovely terrain. I have no idea what direction I'm flying in, and I don't care. Yeah, good times watching me lose my temper, right? You what? Son of a bitch, I got another ticket for speeding, or, no lights or whatever. Yeah, and by the way, I'm also on YouTube now. I don't think I pulled YouTube up. I think I am on YouTube right now. And if I am, hi. I used to have 15,000 viewers or followers on YouTube, and now I got, like today during my Thunderdome, there were 7 people watching, because again, nobody knows I'm there. I think I need to work with Brian to get me a little more, get the word out that I'm back, at least for now. This is the sort of terrain that makes the graybeard very happy. And of course, with everything going on, we need to keep our center. We need to keep our mental, emotional, and spiritual balance. Our personal harmony and peace of mind is very important. And that's something the mainstream Mockingbird Matrix media keeps trying to claw apart every day. They no longer even have a pretense of trying to inform us. They just want to emotionally trigger you. And the emotions they want to trigger are all the lower emotions, which lower your frequency, which pull you into the mire and the cesspool. Oh, 300 bits. Thank you, Black Hat Destroyer. Welcome back, GIF. Appreciate it. I need to get back. It's been so many years. I still need to work on my channel. I do apologize, everybody looking at my channel on Twitch. I basically started it up and then I just run it with that. I haven't really fine-tuned it. I don't even know how to do sound bites anymore because I'm using Streamlabs service than what I had. I think that was XSplit Broadcaster or something. Oh, hey, Lynn, so you think Rosenstein and Comey are whiteouts? Well, it's going to come out in the wash when we get past all of the, if it is theatrics, to the sentencing. That will be key. If Comey made a deal or was always a white hat, he will pretty much get a slap on the wrist. Remember Kleinsmith, the FBI lawyer that edited the Carter Page email that got the FISA gate thing rolling? Remember, he didn't lose his license. He did like a couple of months, and he didn't even lose his law license. Let's just remember that Bruce Kleinsmith edited a CIA email that turned Carter Page into a national security threat and a criminal in the eyes of the FBI, and they used the strength of that doctored email to surveil him and the Trump team during their transition, the transition team. Well, you know why he got a slap on the wrist? He cooperated. That's why. I mean, it's obvious to me. He got a slap on the wrist because he cooperated. I also think Lisa Page cooperated. I don't know about Peter Strzok. Probably not. I think he's deep state, deep swamp. But in the coming weeks, we're going to have to support one another emotionally and spiritually, because there's a lot of darkness being exposed. And for some of you folks, this is the time when your relatives and friends are going to start asking questions. Just be ready, because they're going to want to know how could this happen. That's when people like my brother are going to become invaluable, because he chronicled all of it. I was at his elbow and I picked up quite a bit. And as he happens to mention, I'm the 30,000 foot view. I work with patterns and trends, history, and from 30,000 feet, their smoke and mirrors are completely ineffective in determining their intentions and what their goals are. Brian gets down into the literal weeds and breaks everything down: who, what, when, where, and why. And as far as I'm concerned, nobody does it better than he does. And if you've noticed, for many years, several years, he did not stream. He didn't put out much. He did a Substack to earn a living. But when it came to the live streaming that everybody knew he could do, he said, I'm going to wait. And he said he was going to wait because he was that guy that got Durham wrong. And it really kind of ticked him off, to be honest, because, again, Durham did the heavy lifting. He exposed the joint venture. He named names: who, what, where, when, and why. It's all there in the Durham report, including the classified appendix that he was not allowed to make public because it was still classified. And he's had to wait, 3 years? And take a lot of snickering and laughter, and he said he's just going to bide his time, and he's right. And now the worm has turned, the wheels come round again, and you're going to see Durham and his report and the joint venture back in the spotlight, because there's no need to do any more investigating. It's already been done. He was asked to determine how could Spygate have happened, and he did it. He did. Well, that would include Barr then. And I mean, there's a lot of people trying to dirty up Barr. A lot of people are convinced Rosenstein was a black hat or was completely corrupt. I don't believe that. Jeff Sessions is going to make a comeback. Have you noticed that basically for a while I thought Jeff Sessions had died? Or you don't hear about him anywhere. You talk about locking down. I think there is a lot happening under the surface that we can't see. But again, just know that every time the mainstream media has a new event or a new story, see how they're treating regular Americans? They gaslight us. I talked about this today. Whenever there's a major event, you have somebody like Jimmy Kimmel is trotted out to say it was the shooter was a MAGA guy. And even though you know, and I know, and everybody that we know knows that's a complete lie, it doesn't matter. He's granting them social permission to say that because they heard him say it, so it must be true. Like right now, there's like 70 or 80% of people on the left, if you ask them who killed Charlie Kirk, they're going to tell you it was a MAGA guy. And you're saying they must know that's not true. The answer is yes and no. Oh wow, look at this. Wow! The same way Patriot Front, everybody knows that it's not real. They're feds. Everybody knows. But this is important. People miss this. As I said recently in one of my Thunderdome Substacks, Patriot Front, they know they're not real. We know they're not real. They know we know they're not real. They know we know that they know they're not real. And it doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter? Because they built the last 40 years stating, even longer actually, mid-80s, they have been preparing America to fight the boogeyman of white supremacy. And it started in the 80s with the group called The Order. And then it ratcheted up under Janet Napolitano. Remember Rush calling her Big Sis Napolitano when she started claiming, and they were serious, that our veterans were a national security threat. Well, when you find out where these people were wanting to go, look at the Clintons, look at Obama. Yeah, gee, I wonder why. I wonder why they were looking at the veterans as a threat. And then here comes Trump, and then here comes Patriot Front. I can get lost in the weeds here, but let me just say this. The reason they go through the rigmarole, the reason they even bother, isn't to scare you or trigger you. You're irrelevant. You don't matter. What they're doing is these people expect to be teaching like Randi Weingarten or her successor in 20 years. They're expecting somebody like her to be teaching the future generation. Hey there, Paula Walla. They expect somebody like Randi Weingarten is going to be teaching America's children. And they're going to tell them that they saved America from white supremacy. And here are the pictures to prove it. See? Look at all those guys walking around in balaclavas on and khaki pants and sunglasses. They were the white supremacists. And here's the thing. They use all of the AstroTurf BS that they come up with to help justify budgets. And understand, the people that are running and funding all of this from the shadows are absolutely hardcore leftists. They are on the left. The communist or the progressive lifestyle, they want that for the country. So what they do is they pretend there are two parties, but notice the hammer of justice only swings in one direction, ours, where they hammer us with it. Okay? So it's important for you to understand they create the boogeyman, which is white supremacy. They budget themselves and prepare to swing. It's a phantom menace. It's okay. There are people that are racist. The idea, but look at what's happening right now. And these people will still say with a straight face, we need to defund police and abolish ICE and open our borders. Everything is gaslighting now. Everything. So, but in the future, well, first of all, they don't intend to lose. Understand that. They're not playing to lose. They don't intend to lose. They do intend in about 25 to 30 years that somebody like Randi Weingarten will be teaching America's children that they saved America from white supremacy. You may now bow and kiss our ring because we saved you. And the pictures and the photo ops with Patriot Front are all designed to shore up and make that narrative real. That's why they do it. Okay? And for the people that will be asking in 20 years, 30, 25 years, who was Patriot Front? Was that even real? No. Here are the pictures to prove it. See? They were real. And we saved you. You should be grateful. Give us more of your tax money and your freedoms. We saved you. We saved you from this menace. When you grasp that, understand that everything the Mockingbird media is doing is inflaming the left to basically turn it into assassination culture. And Brian has been saying specifically that And I saw this happen in the Summer of Love in 2020 in Seattle and Portland, Oregon. They literally terrorize you, and they tell you the only way to get them to stop is to give in to their demands. Uh-oh. I got lens flare. Okay. Oh, looks like this. I wasn't sure if this was going to keep going, but it is. These people are being called in. Basically, they're priming the gun Donald Trump's going to fire, figuratively speaking, to blow their house of cards to smithereens. The indictment of Comey means it's go time. And the thing that angers me, I'm really getting angry when I talk about this, so I got to be careful. Jimmy Kimmel coming out and saying the shooter was a MAGA guy isn't just trying to set up a joke the way Joe Rogan took it. No, that's not what it was doing. He's giving millions of people that are still in thrall to the Mockingbird media matrix, he's giving them social permission to say that. See, there are people that don't want to confront unpleasant or difficult truths. They don't want to. They're living their lives. I don't need this. And here's Jimmy Kimmel, like a snake, coming in and saying, the shooter was MAGA. It doesn't make any sense. It's not coherent, but that's, again, I keep having to come back to this phrase, that's not the point. The point is to give people safe and pat answers that they will accept, that will strangle and destroy their curiosity so they don't ask any more questions and they don't want to dig any deeper. That's why they do that. They say, again, you've been seeing this for years. They call it that they're gaslighting us. That's partially true. They're gaslighting us and they're saying the most incoherent babble all the time. But you need to understand that the people that are still in thrall to the media matrix, those are the safe pat answers they want to hear that give them. I said this about Band of Brothers. It's a great TV series. If you ever have never seen it, you need to see it. It's amazing. This is a pretty narrow canyon. I won't fly any lower. But they go into that German town, and the inference is, and by the way, I read a lot of historical accounts of World War II. Everybody, like all the Germans said, we didn't know. They all said that. We didn't know. And you ask yourself, how's that possible? And the Americans just say, they're full of crap, that they're lying. In many instances, they're not lying. Okay, it's a paradox. They sort of knew, but sort of didn't know. Because guess what? The people running their towns, their cities, and their government told them 1,000 little lies before the big lie. They told them 1,000 little lies. And again, it's the safe. Oh, we're relocating them in these trains. Yeah, they're being relocated. We're sending them off east. And in Germany, if the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. So they accepted the easy, pat, safe answers. And then the American Army comes through and says, you people, how could you not know this? And they could say honestly, because again, they're Germans, they believe in law and order, they're very orderly, they're very hardworking, but they literally, it's hard to explain unless you've studied World War II, and the German people throughout history, they want a strong leader, and they believe in social order. You do what the authorities say. Like a police officer didn't even have to carry a gun. They had real authority back in the 20s and 30s. And the authorities are telling you, no, we're shipping them east. Don't worry about that smell. We're building something. It's from X, Y, or Z. They would lie to them. But but everybody. Okay, here's the thing. Everybody knew they were lying to them. Everybody knew it was a lie. They didn't know the particulars. But they knew something was going on. But when the Americans confronted them, it's like, hey, I didn't do it. I don't know nothing. Okay? And they could say that because they told them 1,000 little lies. And now we're watching the Mockingbird media act like Nazi Germany. Every time an atrocity happens, they're right there with their pat little. Right now, they're trying to say the shooter in Texas at the ICE facility was anti-immigrant. You watch. And a week from now, most of the people, if you speak to them on the streets, most of the people on the left will say, well, that guy just wanted to kill immigrants. The truth won't matter. It goes to trial, it won't matter. Remember, Jimmy Kimmel issued a retraction or apology or whatever. That wasn't really an apology. How many millions saw what he said about it being a MAGA shooter? How many are going to see the apology or the retraction? They do these things repeatedly on purpose to give people social permission. You know what we got on September 10th? With the speed of a rifle shot? We got social permission to not put up with these insaniacs anymore. And they went and very helpfully self-identified themselves. Like, I can't tell you what it does to me to understand that there may be women dying right now in an emergency room or in a hospital because they destroyed their liver with Tylenol. And many of these women were pregnant. I just got to take a step back. If you ever wanted to know how much trouble we're in as a country, thanks to the brainwashing, there you go. There it is, right there. Whoop, there it is. We're in serious trouble. What kind of brainwashing would override a woman's concern for her baby? And all I see are a bunch of smiling women that are eager to stick it to Trump. And that's I guess I'm having trouble processing it or getting past that their hatred for Trump is greater than their concern for their infant. I've heard about it. Monopulant. Seen the exploding microphone video in the Kurt murder? Yes. Certain people are saying that. I've already seen it. And my thinking is, it's not a 30-06. I think there's some story behind this. I'm waiting to hear what it is. Oh, hey there, Dubels. So the narrative is there was a dude there in sunglasses who activated the detonator, which was apparently the lapel mic or whatever they call it. It has a certain word, but I mean, okay, that fits. Who has a history of setting off electronic devices, explosives disguised in electronic devices? Anybody remember a certain event last year? Yep. It's all speculation at this point until something significant breaks. I think people, they were insane to do. Whoever did this, let me just say this. I can't say that. Okay, so whoever did this has miscalculated badly. Green, shut up, man. Okay, so so when it comes to oh God, I lost my thought. Thanks a lot, Green. In the modern world today, what may have been a great, I mean, because again, I've said this before, this may have been rushed because it was a timed event. Literally 48 hours after Trump said in a public space, Trump said Christianity is under attack and Christianity will be defended, and then 24 hours later, Charlie Kirk is murdered very publicly. Both events are in public. And I think that's very telling and very important. Whoever did this, number one, I don't believe Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. I do not believe that now. If a rifle was fired, he didn't fire it. You will never convince me, ever, that kid had the skill to fire a jugular shot from 200 yards. Not happening. Flat out no. It was hey there, Lisa. So I was getting the name wrong. So it's Kevin Kleinsiff, not Bruce Kleinsiff. Okay. He got a slap on the wrist though, and the reason he got a slap on the wrist is he sang like a little birdie, because again, the functionary that Kleinsmith was, he would never do that. He would never edit that CIA email to set up a illegal FISA warrant, a fraudulent FISA warrant, without being instructed to do so. He'd never do that on his own. Who told him? Who told him to do that? Was it a favor or was it an order? That's kind of important, I think. Quality H2O. These people had a lot to protect. And remember, Trump was not supposed to win in 2016. That was not supposed to happen. Hey there, Allison. I'm flying somewhere in the Netherlands, inland. I've lost the plot. I've lost the coast. And it's like I said, this is not going to be just one arrest. Baker? Oh, that's James Baker the Third, I think, yeah. Antifa's going to get rolled up like a carpet. There may be sporadic and isolated incidents of violence, such as what we saw in Texas the other day at that ICE facility. You can't really prepare for that. This is the fault of the mainstream media matrix and the politicians in D.C. that have fanned the flames with their violent rhetoric that they will not stop, and they won't stop until they make them stop. And But I know what I saw in 2020 when I was covering Portland and Seattle, the Chaz and all that other stuff. I spent like 4 or 5 hours every night, just if you guys remember those live streams. And half the people I was using as sources were Antifa, who were literally recording themselves, you understand? Literally recording themselves committing crimes, in some cases serious felonies. And remember, if it's caught on video, who's monitoring that? And have you ever met a little gadget, called a little system called Palantir? These people are completely boned. They've had a lot of protection in Congress, and understand the last about 6 years, Trump has been stripping that protection away from them, layer by layer. Jerry Nadler and Antifa's an idea. It's just gaslighting. And again, they're giving people a nice, safe, pat answer that you don't have to dig any further or look any deeper. It's an idea. Don't worry. The mostly peaceful protest with buildings on fire behind you. It's mostly peaceful. Don't worry about it. The stage is set for what Brian has been calling the Great Congressional Reset. It's going to include the Senate, though, and too. It's going to be when there's a record of all these recent elections, 2022, 2020, 2018. A lot of people are going to be going to prison. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. First real yawn of the evening. So I'm flying over the Netherlands. Have some really lovely terrain here. And once again, I want to stress that over the next 3 weeks or so, you're going to be needing to chill. Emotional, spiritual, and mental balance is important. And everything the media matrix is going to be trying to do over the next 3 weeks is to make you panic, make you angry, make you afraid. 8,600, wow. I'm averaging about 2,100 a day. I know, I'm pathetic. But also I do Death Cycle about 2,000. It's not the same though. We have to take care of ourselves because we have been surreptitiously poisoned in several different ways, not just diet, over the past. You moonrush. Shut up, Green. I think it's time to take these off. Oh, hey, Simply Gal. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Awan Brothers, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And again, I don't want to get my hopes up because I've been wrong before. Hey there, Rumor. But, Death Blossom doesn't look like, well, you made me want to go talk to the developers in Paris, Asobo, there, Death Blossom, because they're the ones that designed the game. I'm just flying it. 10 minutes warning. Okay, great. back to my point before you guys distracted me. Yeah. So again, James Comey being indicted is a big deal. Big deal. Because as I've said before, you can't, like they've been saying, for the famous Chris Farley, from Saturday Night Live, for the love of God, where he shouts, for the love of God, like they had like him screaming at a little, obviously a photoshopped image of Pam Bondi. For the love of God, arrest someone. Okay, they couldn't, because it's all interconnected. If you pull one thread, you're going to pull. You have to pull them all. And they just indicted Comey. So it's go time. You're going to see DOJ go time on not just Comey but several others. It's gonna start blossoming like a death blossom, and then also on the military. It does look like it monopolizes. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, you're right. In Red October, the hunted become the hunter. Or the hunters that hunted Trump and us became the hunted. Also, keep your head on a swivel wherever you are, because remember what happens, as it says in the Q drops, what always happens when these people get in trouble. Well, we've had about a month of trouble already. Last half of August to right now, we've had nothing but terrible news, atrocities, assassinations. The throes of a dying behemoth. Brendan, all of them, I think. All of those people that Tulsi Gabbard talked about, and that I'm getting woozy on the dates now. December, whatever it was, that were attending that meeting, including Obama, all of them. Just remember the phrase, they will fight, but you are ready. Burp. Thank you for a $20 Rumble donation, Rumble chat. James B. Is it Comey or Corny? My eyes are terrible right now. They're so tired. I'm ready to go to bed, actually. But I'm going to stick it out because you folks are here. If anybody's chatting on YouTube, I'm sorry, I don't have YouTube chat up yet. I have one screen, and it ain't that big. Yeah, they put in the riot fences. You know, all this is happening. And if you're not paying attention, it's like, well, when did that happen? Well, again, they're getting ready for the counterpunch from all the insaniacs. Corny. James B. Corney. Okay, yeah. Death block. My eyes. I'm getting some turbulence here. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Just a coinkydink. Sure it is. I am convinced that Comey was doing a signal with the 8647 Seychelles stuff, like a prearranged signal. I don't know who it was, who it was for. So again, it's up in the air whether he's a white hat or not. But I think the next round of arrests, now that he's been indicted, as I said, things are going to happen rapidly now. And again, for people that want to hate on Chris Wray, I just want to point something out. I think Chris Wray was a placeholder. That they knew nothing was going to happen under Biden or that little mouse Garland, the AG Merrick Garland. Nothing was going to happen under them. So that's why Durham basically wrote his report, made referrals, nothing ever happened, which was not a surprise. If you know the temperament of Biden and Garland. So, but now Garland is not AG and Biden is not president. And now it's go time. And yep, he did have to have a meeting with the feds over the Seychelles thing. Maybe it was intentional. I think the two cases that Durham tried and got, no traction, no convictions. I think it's going to be done in Florida. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Old Duffer. You guys remind me. I was speaking about Chris Wray. So Chris Wray, Comey created the hidden room, apparently, where they hid all the exculpatory evidence that would have convicted, their friends. And then no, pardon me, I'm saying that wrong. They hid the incriminating evidence that would have convicted their friends in that room, and then also hid the exculpatory evidence of the people they wanted to target politically, like General Flynn and Donald Trump. And that's why I say thank you, Chris Wray, because you just picture Chris Wray as a placeholder waiting to turn the keys of that building over to Kash Patel. I'm convinced Bill Barr is a white hat. Okay, there's now 10 for me to take my pills. This is a new bottle. Music tonight is provided by Lo-Fi Girl. You can find her on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, L-O-F-I Girl, Lo-Fi Girl. Chilled beats are amazing. Numerous channels, live 24/7, always free. Did I just not take my medicine right in front of you? Dang it. Really loving the terrain here. I'm going to try not to crash into it. It is a 9 o'clock hour. You're flying with the Greybeard. I'm currently flying the Vertigo Got Gravel freeware plane somewhere over Netherlands. Hey there, Commander Kim. Welcome on in. I'm feeling better. Interesting. Trump also signed tariffs tonight. Drug companies, also furniture cabinet makers, imported. Get back to we used to have all kinds of factories just on so many different products. American made used to mean something. And I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a moment, so please forgive me. There are a bunch of channels now that I've stumbled into. They are completely AI generated. They have some historical pictures of World War II, a premise about American logistics or capability during World War II versus the Germans and Japanese, and how they both badly misread our ability to wage war on two fronts. And the thing I've noticed about them is, even though they are AI written, in other words, the writing is clearly AI, the thing that just strikes me is the factually, they're very factually correct. Remember, I've studied the Second World War for over 30 years as a hobby. I'm not an expert in it by any means, but I've studied it. Hundreds of books, hundreds of documentaries, and the way I'm able to remember your names over your handles is, that's a testament to my memory and attention to detail. And the thing this brings me back to is, if you've never read Victor Davis Hanson's The Second World Wars, plural, I highly recommend it. Especially for a history buff or World War II aficionado, it's absolutely game-changing. That was a logistics war. We won it via logistics. Our incredible national resources and logistics won that war. Oh, hey, old duffer. But this is the thing about it that strikes me. So you know what I'm talking about. They've just suddenly appeared everywhere. And I was like, the first couple I was like wondering, what is this? And then I realized it was all AI. It was AI generated. Probably got an AI that that's running the channels or whatever these channels are. There's one called World War II Tales that I'm. Look at these houses. I love these houses. It's called World War II Tales, Tales, and it's just amazing. And most of their facts are and I've checked. Like I did they'll mention a name, they'll mention a situation. I'll go look, and yeah, it's historic. It actually happened. So. But the thing that strikes me is, if you understand how America could fight a two-front war, and one of them, my about German POWs, and these were hardcore Nazi Wehrmacht soldiers, were captured, and on the way to the States, on board the ships, they were all provided hot meals. They basically ate what the sailors ate, including ice cream and Coca-Cola. And the Germans were just flabbergasted that their captors would give them ice cream and Coca-Cola. And they were like, at first they didn't understand what the purpose of Coca-Cola was. You drink and you eat for sustenance. What is this fizzy drink? They didn't understand. Was it medicinal? They didn't know. And they got into it eventually. But the thing that really floored them was they were provided, when they got to the States, they were provided hot showers. Basically the same barracks our soldiers would live in, Quonset huts. And okay. 308th Bomb Group in China. There's probably one there. I bet I could find it. But they were flabbergasted that they were treated. Everything was okay. But to understand that our logistics were so massive, just massive, that we could afford to feed enemy prisoners the same way we fed our soldiers. And the way we fed our soldiers was, to their mind, absolutely incredible. Yep, so I think you guys are seeing the same things I am. And I'm kind of addicted to these now. But the point I was trying to make is, if you look at somebody who obviously was no fan of America, listen to these reports, and of course they lost the war. The Japanese, but especially the Germans, lost the war. And they realized if they were ever going to defeat us, they had to defeat us from within. And this is why our manufacturing and all of the things that made us a strong nation started to be stealthily devolved. A lot of the Germans that came here as POWs later emigrated to the States and became citizens. Now, Green's like to, well, the food wasn't that good. Okay, but no, it was just because it was you, Green. Nobody told you, but it was because it was you. They hid the real food. But when you read the Second World Wars by Victor Davis Hanson, then you also look at these logistical triumphs that were just mind-boggling. As one example I explained during Joachim Peiper, who was the head of an SS unit during the Battle of the Bulge. Their job was to get to the Meuse River, and to do that they were going to have to capture, because they didn't have enough fuel, they were going to have to capture intact a U.S. Army fuel depot. They actually ended up doing that. They actually ended up capturing it, and it had 50,000 gallons of fuel, and the Germans were ecstatic. They also found paperwork which showed them every American fuel depot, or Repel Depot, or armory in the area. But before they could move out the next day, the Allies burned. Okay, so they got 50,000 gallons of fuel, and the order went out, and Piper was stunned, and he realized that he had basically he said that's the moment he realized they lost the war, is they torched 8 million gallons all around him. And what happens when your Panzer runs out, or your vehicle runs out of fuel? You have to abandon it, which is what they had to do. They burned 8 million. They didn't even try to relocate it, because they had almost an inexhaustible supply. They just burned it. And when he heard that they had burned all of, he realized that they had lost the war, and it was just like right there. Ooh, been on a cruise. Oh, I hope you had fun, Cedar Creek Gal. What's that stuff? They used to call it the S word on a shingle. That you had. It was like a milk-like gravy with peas in it, and you poured it over toast, and it might have had tuna fish in it. I mean, I remember it was really good as a kid. I enjoyed eating that. They talked about the Germans in captivity, like even back at before they even reached England. Just in they were sequestered, with the forward troops before they were shipped out. They would talk about being handed plates full of food, meat, beef stew, chicken, real coffee. That's another thing. They used to talk about how in the German army they were so limited on what they had. Sugar was a memory. Peas and tuna on bread and kind of like a cream gravy or sauce. I have very fond memories of that. But they would eat a gruel with or bread with sawdust in it. I mean, it's just incredible. The privation, how we were so rich in food and they were so poor while they were fighting us. And then they would get captured. Obviously the ones that didn't die were captured, and they would have real cigarettes and real coffee. Cream dried beef. Yep. So it's reminding me, and a while back in Portland, I made some of this for a while. I'm trying to remember how I made it. It was most milk, tuna fish, minced really fine. Obviously, peas. And I think you added flour to it, but you made it a lot like a thick porridge, almost like a porridge-like gravy. Except it wasn't porridge, it wasn't oatmeal. Yeah, oh, there we go. Flour and butter with milk and a little chicken broth. Okay, and I just remember having that over toast, and it was delicious. It was also rather inexpensive back in the day. One of the things my mom used to make, potato soup. Pardon me. The acclimation to captivity was a real thing. Cream of chicken soup. I don't think so. I guess you could, but that might be a good addition to the recipe. But again, the thing that just floored me was ice cream and Coca-Cola. And then, of course, our manufacturing. They've been turning our food into poison, affecting everything we eat as a negative. And they offshored as much of our manufacturing as they could. So when you understand, for the past 70 years, surreptitiously, these people from afar, from the shadows, have been attempting to remove our ability to ever be able to beat them again. We were being disassembled. Anyway. Yeah, potato soup for me didn't have bacon, didn't have cheese either. It was very thick, very hearty. I'm not sure what a bisque is, but welcome in, Jules. Not sure. Mushroom soup. Yep. But I guess they called that cream tuna over toast. And of course you had to have the peas. It was just awesome. That's what you call a comfort food, because I remember it just the way I remember potato soup. As a kid, I never liked potato salad, but now I love it. Looks like the homeowner went to bed around 7 today when I was eating my dinner. One of her pups knocked over her tea. It was a big, large tea from Zaxby's, and it went everywhere. So her television, she likes to watch a Hallmark Mystery Channel, got a 20-minute delay. As we ended up trying to mop up all the spilled tea. Chowder. I always loved how Cliff Clavin talked. And of course, because of his accent, there was one episode where they got him to say chowder like a dozen times. Tickled me pink. That was my knee popping. I can't have coffee now. I'd be up all night. Have a little bit of warm kefir. Wow, Old Duffer, that sounds... I've never had mallard, though. Never mallard. I don't know what that would taste like. Chowder heads. I did like what Trump was saying today, because if you understand what's been happening to our agriculture, as there are nefarious individuals that, just like the way they offshored all of our manufacturing and have been setting us up pharmaceutically, you know, the drugs we need, maybe we don't need that many drugs, but most of our drugs are made in China, that there's been a definite attempt to make us dependent. Make us dependent. So what Trump is doing today with this one of his executive orders is he's going to be providing tariff money to the farmers who are being squeezed off their land right now by, again, people who want to control our food supply. You control utilities, you control life's necessities, healthcare, food, energy. You control that stuff. You can control a population, which is why they want to do it. So Trump is addressing and putting a halt, I think eventually it will be a halt, to all of the schemes that these globalists are attempting to perpetrate against us. What Hegseth is up to? Well, I think it's pretty clear, Pleiades. Some people are saying, oh, he's going to give him a stern talking to about loyalty or disloyalty. That not that manner. This is, we're getting ready to go to war, okay, openly, as opposed to, blowing up a boat here or there. As I've said before, Venezuela is one of the hubs of the global syndicate, just like Ukraine is. He's not pulling in all the senior generals and officers to give them a stern lecture about, how they're behaving. That's ridiculous. That is not what's happening. We have positioned a strong military force in the Caribbean for a reason. And I think we're about to find out what that reason is. He's getting the generals read in and the admirals, and then it's go time. So remember, I said things are going to be happening with rapidity now, and not just necessarily on the DOJ front. There's several fronts, including Department of War. Well, technically, to my eyes, we've been at war since they released COVID. What you're going to find out was a deliberate release. They created it, they released it on purpose. Now, you think about all the normies that listen to Jimmy Kimmel that are enthralled to the Mockingbird media matrix, and, he says... And then imagine what them thinking when it turns out that Anthony Fauci and all these people were lying all along, and they deliberately released that pathogen. What do you think that's going to do to them when it's proven beyond when it's undeniable and indisputable? What do you think that's going to do? Well, we better have all our ducks in a row, or you're going to see some really unfortunate things. I mean, maybe it looks like Allison's shocked. I'm sorry. We've been at war for a long time. And if you have a criminal hub that is literally dropping a chemical weapon in our country named fentanyl that's has killed hundreds of thousands of us, that has to be addressed. I don't know if it's going to require boots on the ground. I don't care. They need to stop it, and they're going to stop it. Six downvotes on Rumble? You know me. I think it's going to affect Colombia and Brazil. I just want to remember, folks, to tell folks to remember, until April 2nd, 2025, somebody else was running this country. We were a captured nation. And we are, in many respects, we are still an occupied nation, if you understand what I mean about that. But right now, Donald Trump is renovating the White House, putting in a ballroom. He's doing why didn't anybody ever do that before? Well, the simple answer is they weren't allowed to, because they weren't really presidents. They were figureheads. especially after JFK. So exciting times, a lot of things are happening and about to happen. Let me take a quick look at let's see how things are going. That's not it. That's not what I wanted. Okay, yeah, let me go ahead and fix this because it always has me. I always have to fix it. Okay, Microsoft Flight Simulator. For some reason, Twitch always wants to say this is a talk show or podcast. Correct. Okay, just want to get my final numbers. There we go. Back to my channel. Coming up half past the hour. Lakeland, Florida. James Comey has just been indicted. Woo! I got 8 viewers on Twitch. Appreciate you being here. 89 on Rumble. That's respectable. I got downvotes. Let me see them. I want to see them. I am so popular. Oh, 6. It's 6 now. I got 6 downvotes. Yeah. I'm popular. I am so popular. Okay, and over on YouTube, it's not up. God darn it. Sons of bitches. Hold on, I'll find out. I'm just curious. View your channel. Live. Chill Nation. I think this is one of the first Chill Nations I've done. View your channel. I said lower that volume, son. And there are 3 watching now. So, yep, I got to get the word out. But I want to say thank you to everybody that came out this evening. Pleasant dreams. I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. for Thunderdome. I can only imagine what news is going to break between now and 5 p.m. Take care and pleasant dreams.